Hey guys, we're back. We're just going to take this up another notch of simplifying. Now, if you remember, we did some multiplying and dividing with just monomials. Okay, and then I switched over to these binomial things and trinomials that had to be factored. So we're kind of keep building here. So we're still canceling, multiplying. Now remember, even though we're multiplying, we can still cross diagonal cancel. So if I can factor this and see if something matches, I can cancel. And same with here, this bottom can cancel with this top if something matches. Now, we just got to go back to what we know about the factoring. Now, remember, we were just doing this on the last video. This trinomial, remember, can go into the two parentheses. Now I'm going to, instead of trying to move it somewhere else, I'm going to just do it here. So I'm going to factor this trinomial right here, right up above here. So again, x and x. Now the factors of 12, that add up to 8. So what multiplies to make 12, that adds up to 8. Okay, that would be 6 and 2, right? 6 times 2 makes 12. 6 plus 2 makes 8. Now it's a negative 8. So both negative. Okay? Everybody see what we did there? Okay, now again, let's go ahead and I'm going to cancel. I'm going to try to, let's go ahead and just do this one. Again, we have the trinomial. Let's stick with the trinomial. So again, x and x. Now, this is the factors of 18 that subtract, because it's a negative 18, that subtract to make 3. So what multiplies to make 18, that subtracts to make 3, that'd be 6 and 3, right? 6 times 3 makes 18. 6 take away 3 makes 3. Now I need a positive 3 in the middle, so the larger has to be positive, which means the smaller is negative. Okay, so what I did, these top two trinomials went into the two binomials. Now guys, this bottom ones are just binomials. So this is where we were taking out what they had in common. Remember, we're going to factor out in front what they have in common. Now 3x minus 9, remember they both have a 3 in common. See that? I can take a 3. 3 out of 3x leaves the x. 3 out of 9 leaves a negative 3. Okay, and then same thing, take out what these have in common. Now obviously 4 and 8, they have a 4 in common. 4 out of 4x leaves the x. 4 out of the 8 leaves a negative 2. Now, hopefully you can see what's happening here. So now this trinomial can cancel with that trinomial. So the x minus 3 here, the x minus 3 here can cross out. X minus 3, x minus 3. And then this x minus 2, again, the whole binomial can cancel with this whole binomial. So x minus 2, the x minus 2. Now, what's interesting is nothing else cancels. Nothing else can cancel. I've got a 3 down here, a 4 down here. I've got binomial. So again, this is kind of weird, but what's left is this binomial and that binomial. Now, here's the thing, guys. Because there's two binomials, they actually have to stay in their parentheses. I'm just going to put these side by side. So in the numerator, there's an x minus 6 left over and an x plus 6. Okay, so there's my numerator, x minus 6 and x plus 6. Now, what's interesting about the denominator is this 3 is left, this 4 is left. Now, remember, guys, we're multiplying. 3 times 4, boom, 12, and that's the answer. I know it looks weird, but that's the answer. The binomial times the other binomial over 3 times 4. Since those are both just regular numbers, 3 times 4, 12, and boom, that's the answer. Okay, very similar. Let's do one over here. Okay, that's the same kind of idea, except this is kind of flipped over. So the 5x plus 20 is actually the take out what they have in common part, remember? 5x and 20 obviously has 5 in common. 5 out of 5x leaves the x. 5 out of 20 leaves a 4, right? 5 divided out of 20, that 5 comes out of 20, leaves a 4. 2x minus 18, okay, I can take out again, because that's just a binomial, take out what they have in common. Obviously, they both have a 2 in common. X minus 9. So 2 away from 2x leaves the x. 2 out of 18 leaves a 9. Okay, everybody see that? Now, again, these bottom ones are the trinomials, so we're going to factor those into the 2 parentheses. Okay, x and x, factors of 18, that's a negative 18. So the factors of 18 that subtract to make 7. So what multiplies to make 18 that subtracts to make 7? Okay, and that's 2 and 9, right? 2 times 9 is 18. 2 take away from 9 makes 7. Now, again, I need a negative 7, but also, guys, up here, look, x minus 9. I know that the 9 has to be minus, otherwise it wouldn't cross out. Okay, make that line a little too long. Okay, so again, there's a little shortcut. If you know what you're trying to match, it kind of helps you. So again, since the 9 is negative, that makes the 2 positive. Okay, so there's a positive 2. Okay, now here, 2 parentheses, x and x. Now, positive third term, so we're looking for the factors of 28 that add up to 11. So what multiplies to make 28 that adds up to 11? That's 4 and 7. I'm trying to add up to a positive 11, so both positive. Now I can basically just look, again, diagonal. X plus 4 here, x plus 4 down here, boom, cross those out. X minus 9 up here, x minus 9 down here, cross those out. Okay, now what's left? I've got a 5 left here and a 2 left here that's being multiplied. 5 and 2, boom, 10. Binomial times binomial. I can't really put those together. So just x plus 2 and x plus 7 in the 2 binomials. And that is the answer right there. That's the answer. 10 over x plus 2, x plus 7. That is the answer. Okay, so obviously you saw it 2 different ways. You can either have the binomials on top, binomials on the bottom, and then the other part is a number. Okay. Now in the next video, we'll take this up a notch, but here's your homework. Okay. So again, factor those out, cross out what they have in common, see what's left over. Okay. There's your homework. Okay. Enter that in the journal. Okay. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.